No Invite Podcast, we are back. Episode 25, Season 2, The Level Up. We got you know what? I've been wanting to fucking do like a Where's Waldo style book, but with your ass in it. Because we ain't had no fucking Patty in this piece in I don't know how long.
I think it's just how people are in general. I see somebody that I hadn't seen in like 15 years the other day. Like, where you been? I'm here. I'm here.
That's horrible. That's horrible. Motherfucker looking for like, where the fuck's Patty been the whole time? She's been there the whole time. Over here. What's up, Patty? How you doing?
The whole time. I have been.
Patty 16th world in the building.
I'm good. Very, very good. Very blessed, like always.
Always. You know
blessed.
what though? I ain't gonna lie. I fucking love your attitude, bro. Because even when you're down, you're not really down. You're like.
You just have to kind of. It's life.
Yeah,
you gotta be able to take anything life can give you, baby.
That's a fucking fact. You know what I'm saying? Because life will throw its fucking best punch at you, or life will jab the shit out of you hella lightly, but consistently for a long time, to where you're fucking snapping, you're fed up and shit. But I don't know. I've been through a lot, and you've been through a lot, and I feel like that being through a lot shit is kind of like gives us a little perspective.
Yeah, it does. It's like a blessing and a curse in one. Like, going through things that were kind of negative growing up, I was like, I already kind of made like a pact to myself, like a promise to myself, like whatever life gives me, I'm gonna try to find some way to be able to handle it in a positive way, because just looking at the adults around me, like life made them bitter. Yeah. Life made them hard. Yeah. And not understandably so. Yeah. But I just was like, damn, because of everything they went through, and I just don't want to allow life to do that for me. You ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna win.
Yeah, you ain't gonna kick my ass.
My shine. Like,
you might kick my ass, but you ain't gonna stop me from laughing, though. You ain't gonna stop me from. I ain't gonna lie, like, excuse me. You're right. A lot of people fucking, you know what I mean, are very bitter and very upset. They don't like where their life is at. And life will chew you out. And I think that because we were exposed to so much so young, that we kind of like pushed past that.
I tried, yeah.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong. I had a real, like, my 20s, actually my like from 16 to like my late 20s, cynical than a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Like, fuck this shit out of whatever it is.
Yeah, everybody's out to get you. I get them or they get me first. And
yeah, fuck them, fuck how they feel, fuck who, you know, all that. Like, and then as you start getting older, you start realizing it's like, yo, I'm fucking blessed, bro. It's like, shit. You start seeing people die younger than you. Yeah. Like, even younger than you, but not only that, but real younger than you. You start seeing people that been in similar situations at you, and now they're all really fucked up. I mean, you know, doing really bad. And I don't get me wrong. Look, like, I'm, you know, I could be a cold person when I need to be, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that I'm able to give what's required when it's needed. Yes. But I do have a lot of empathy, and I do have a lot of pain. And when I see people I grew up with, people that at one point they were like my inner circle or whatever, and I see them doing bad, that shit fucks me up. You know, you can't live nobody's life for them, though. You know what I'm saying? But and you can't make nobody fucking wanna have more for themselves. Yeah. But fuck, it fucks me up, though. I ain't gonna lie, I feel bad. But, and it reminds me that we're blessed, and I'm blessed. Yeah. You feel me? Like.
And again, I think a lot of it, when I was younger, I would notice people who had similar backgrounds, grew up similarly, and one would turn in a way that wasn't necessarily beneficial for their lives. They, you know, they turn to drugs. They're still functional, but they don't seem like they're happy.
They're just existing.
Yeah, they're just surviving. Yeah. They're just trying to survive day by day. And I've seen other people where they went through the same things, and some people went through worse, and they're actually thriving. So for me, I'm always analyzing everything. Yeah. So one thing I was like, being younger, being around a lot of adults, because I wasn't around a lot of kids. I don't have no brothers and sisters. You know, I don't have a lot of cousins around my age that I was around. So I was around a lot of adults. So as you know, you observe what you're around. So I observed the adults, and I was like, again, I noticed that life kind of made them hard, kind of made them cold, kind of made them, you know, a little bit unemotionally available. And they just didn't seem happy that way. And then I seen other people that didn't live their life that way, and they might have kind of went through a little bit more in a sense, but they didn't have the same perspective.
And now they're like living life like rock stars and shit.
So I'm like, well, what's the difference between this person that isn't so happy and this person? I always analyze happiness and what made people happy, and like, why is this person happy and why isn't this person happy? How do people come from the same background and have different outcomes? Like,
I think it's perspective.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I feel like it's how you choose to view the world. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
and honestly, like, TV contributed to a lot of my perspective because I grew up watching like Sister, Boy Meets World.
Patty was like the Brady Bunch.
Nickelodeon.
Brady Bunch. I already pictured Patty with a big ass head in front of the TV, like.
And those were on Family Matters. And those were a lot of like the messages in those shows were very positive.
Unfortunately,
what you're exposed to, and then me not being around a lot of kids, so to speak, that's how I learned a lot about the world. Was through TV.
Yeah.
And so there was always like, you know, everything's tied up in a little bow with sitcoms and TV like that. Like there's always like some sort of solution.
There's a solution in 30 minutes at the end of this 30 minutes.
But in real life, and again, like how, you know, we've talked about on the podcast before, it's with us and other people, they're going to downplay that.
Yeah.
They're going to downplay this actual shit that's actually conducive to a beneficial and positive life because that's just kind of how people are. And we've talked about that too. Like,
and that's just television, because television is supposed to be an enjoyable experience.
Well,
so
what I watched, I like to
No, I know exactly.
To, like, and that was
what
my
I'm
escape.
saying is that the separation between reality and TV is that, like, in TV, you know, like you said, in 30 minutes there's a solution and it's all wrapped up and eaten
and
a
everybody
bowl.
gets along and everybody tells about their feelings and everybody understands
and you know
each
what,
other.
little Billy
and there's a resolution.
Billy gets caught smoking crack in the fucking garage and fucking Phil just walks up and embraces him, gives him a hug, and we're gonna get you to rehab and you're gonna be fucking all right. But in reality, little Billy probably stole the credit card.
Never takes the help he says he's going to.
You know what I'm
but
saying?
Takes him the seventh time, but at least he gets there.
In reality, little Billy steals fucking Phil's car and fucking crashes it into a pole and then fucking gets a forced vacation and shit that he don't really want to look. And next thing you know, he got a fucking face tat and he's paroling from fucking prison.
But what's funny about that is that what you learn is that people who are usually going through things like that, a lot of people don't communicate.
Yeah.
We lash out, we react differently, we tend to judge.
I really think it's just, to be honest with you, think it's just the hood mentality. Like, because for better or worse, like it or love it or leave it, the hood mentality is like, be strong, like get the fuck out of here, like deal with it. Like everybody, see, when you're immersed in it, so like you live in the hood and everybody's fucking poor, it's not like people don't give a fuck as much as what like you're feeling or going through, because it's like we're all going through this fucking shit. You know what I'm saying?
But
it's
it doesn't
more like,
feel right though.
No, it's not
soul
right.
Don't sit right.
I'm definitely not saying it's right, but what I'm saying is it's like it's just like it becomes normalized.
Yeah, and I never accepted that. Everybody like this is just how it is. And I've gotten that a lot growing up. What's the big deal? This is just what people do. And I was like, what the. This cannot be all there is.
You know what?
And bullshit.
That's what makes me feel like
I refuse to live like this every day. Like, fuck that.
The way you think and the way I think is exactly the same. Like, I never, even when prison, all the times I went back, like, I never normalized it. Like, yo, this is where I want to be.
And some people do. Like, this is just a part of the game. This is just a part of
it is, and it is a part of the game.
But that doesn't have to be.
No, it's always going to be. If you're in that game, then it's always going to be a part. But what I'm saying is that you don't have to accept it though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to accept that. This is the only thing. Like, that's going to happen, and if it happens, it happens. But how am I adapting? Just because I've been to prison before, that doesn't mean that I'm going to be like, yo.
You want to go back?
No, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be careless because I know what the outcome is. I don't give a fuck. I've been to prison. I'll be all right no matter what. I'll go in there, sit down, and do what I got to do and shit. No, that the mentality is that you never get comfortable with that. That to me, that was never my element. Even same thing with being poor, being in the ghetto. It's like, bro, I love how I grew up, but I didn't love it until I got older and realized how much stress my mama and my sisters went through to actually to get by. You know, just to have basic things that as I got older, I realized that this is normal. People like should have this no matter what. But when I was younger, it was considered like a luxury. You know what I'm saying? Like the hood mentality.
So the whole accepting like being from the hood, you have to accept that you're poor. You have to accept that people are gonna go to jail. You have to accept that people are gonna die.
You have to accept that there's gonna be violence.
The unhappiness. I refuse to accept any of that.
You gotta accept that there's gonna be violence. You gotta accept that
that
most relationships are gonna be toxic. You know what I'm saying?
But I refuse to accept that and believe that that's all there is. Like that, and that's one thing that like always. What do they say? The only thing that's stronger than fear is hope.
Yeah.
So like that's really what it was, because I was like,
because when it's all said and done, those are the only two things that are left. When they take everything from you and you're in a hopeless place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're scared.
And it's that whole attack on the mind, because that's where everything starts. So it's like, it's really, you either gain perspective to survive.
Yeah.
Or you die. One way or another. And you don't have to die physically. You could die inside. You could be living I know a lot of people who are dead inside who are living.
They don't care, don't feel nothing. They're just like whatever.
And
it goes back to what we're saying. It's just, they're just accepting. They accepted something that didn't have to be. Like, for instance,
these are some people who didn't grow up hood like. These are just people that kind of go through the motions day to day. So that's why I was like,
no, but that's what I'm saying is because they accepted that this is all there is for me. Like, instead of realizing and like how me and you are, it's like, nah, there's more to it than this, and there's more out there for me. And I feel like knowing that, that you are meant for something greater. But some people accept that oh, this is it. Oh, this is all I'll ever be. I'll never be more than this, and it's okay. And it's like, no, it's like, it's okay if that's what you want.
Yeah.
But if you want more for yourself, first things first is like, it's not TV. You have to really go out and get it. Like, no one's going to throw you shit. It's not going to, like, that's the separation between TV. I think that's why we grew up loving it so much, is because while our problems carried on after the lights turned off, or the next day when the lights turned back on, in the fantasy and the illusion of, oh, everything's gonna be handled soon and it'll be okay and it's gonna be wrapped up.
It will be okay. That's what it is. It will be okay.
But that's hope, though. That's what TV shows sell is hope. It's like, you know what, like, don't worry.
And it was a really big escape for me. Like, TV, like when shit was going bad, and I'll be like, bro, like everybody around me, I'm not feeling it. Like, this is not cool. This don't sit right in my soul. I'll go watch some TV, and that shit will take my mind off of it, put me in a good space, and have me again regain hope.
Yeah.
Because around you, there's not a lot of that. There's not a lot of expression of that, at least.
Yeah.
And there, it was like, okay, there's something outside my world. For one, not everybody's life is like this, and not everybody's life feels like this. So your life don't have to feel like this. So
it's perspective. It gives you perspective.
And then it's like, and everything can end up being okay if you take the necessary steps in order to do so. Like, so you feel like you have control, you feel like you have some sort of influence and power, and especially as a kid, you have no control over your environment.
No,
like you have,
and that's why hope is important when you're a kid.
Yeah,
and when you're a kid, when you're a child, and you lose hope, look out, world.
That's what I'm saying. Like
so for us, we always had hope. Like, I feel like we never.
I went through a lot when I was younger. Like, I felt like I was very emotionally mature very early. So I felt like I learned a lot of things like really early, and so I think that put me in a good position, because when I was younger, even just as a little kid, a lot of times I felt hopeless, and that's why I was like, I don't deserve to feel like this. I'm a kid.
You refuse to settle for that.
Exactly.
Like, you were just like, nah.
When I was a kid, I did have a lot of hopeless feelings and those sort of emotions, again, especially because you have no control over your environment. And not to say that I didn't have good parents or anything like that. It's just kind of the world you grew up in, especially because our parents, grew up in the drug age. They were the guinea pigs for
we
crack
talked about that for sure.
And shit like that. So that was a whole new element. So everything that people were going through with that type of shit, it wasn't a positive for the most part. So, and then what I want to just point out, like, there's always day and night. There's always day and night. And if you're always going to sit there and be like, it's always so dark at night. It's always so dark. It's always so, I can't do shit. It's dark. It's dark.
It's like that meme.
It's dark. And then it's like, but there's also day. There's always day. There's day and there's night. There's darkness and there's light.
That's like that meme.
Like if you're sitting on a bus and there's like a pretty scene on the left, and then there's bullshit on the right.
The rocks and the cliffs and jagged.
Ugly shit or whatever, the negative. Which side are you going to focus on?
I was thinking about the one where it's like two women they're separated by like one of those bush fences, that's made of bushes and vines and shit.
Yeah.
And on one side, it has a girl with like fields and fields of roses, and she's sitting there crying, and she's holding one rose and she's crying. On the other side, it's one girl has nothing on her side but one rose, and she's spinning around dancing and having a good time. It's like, it's all perspective. And it's like for instance, like I know a lot of people, that got wrapped up in the same shit, and they enter that in and out prison cycle, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? They accept it. They're like, yo, it's all about acceptance and what you're willing to put up with, right? So they were like, you know what? I know this is it. I was destined to go to prison. My uncle and my grandpa, you know what I'm saying? They were all locked up. I'm destined to go to prison and do whatever. I mean, if you accept that for your life and you're okay with it, you're at peace with it, then that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I think that everybody, if what you truly desire will come to you if, that's what you're like.
Your thoughts really manifest your reality.
Yeah, if that's what you're really focused on, you'll get that. Yeah. You'll get that. And that doesn't mean that, I know somebody out there saying, well, I'll be telling every day that I'm rich, but what are you doing to get rich? Like thinking
you gotta match your
thoughts with your actions.
Yeah.
So like I said, I mean, for all this shit, like I told my son, we was talking about this, like, yo, I was like, I'm glad that they're doing drug reform and shit like that, because it's like, fuck, like this whole prison, this whole prison pipeline shit, this shit's real. I was like, because I think about it, look, I got locked up at like 15. I got expelled from school. I got caught with like 5 bags of Bammer ass weed. At that, this is like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
back in the day
when it was horrible.
I got caught with 5 bags of Bammer. I got expelled. I got a 6 months juvenile sentence. I got probation. I literally never stopped getting locked up from getting that probation. I never got out of the system long enough until I was like 30.
10 years later, right?
32, 31.
15 years later.
15 years in and out, prison, juvenile, the whole shit, right? And it was like, I'm glad they're changing the way the whole perspective is about that shit, because it's like, it's very easy for someone to lose hope. You know what I'm saying? And be like, you know what? This is it. I accept it. Fuck it. I'm going to be locked up for the rest of my life. I don't give a fuck. It's like, don't get me wrong. I went and got locked up. I paid my what's it called? I paid my debt to society, whatever. I did my time and shit. But imagine if they were doing things differently, because I was like 15, bro. They're like, you're a kid. It's like,
yeah.
Why didn't I get what these other motherfuckers get? Why didn't I get some fucking some therapy, some motherfucking some rehabilitation? Like, nah, they threw me in juvenile hall.
Yeah, it's all about being punitive. It's all about
they stoked the fire.
And yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. So this is what the fuck Patty been doing this whole time. She's been really philosophical, fucking levitating off the floor and sitting Indian style and shit, and with her third. If your third eye ain't open, then you ain't hoping. You feel me?
Is to go to the Himalayas and eat with tigers and levitate in the mountains.
Exactly. and wipe your ass with a fluffy white rabbit because they don't have toilet paper.
And then the rabbit magically becomes clean again.
And then the rabbit transforms to a bird and flies off, and then shits on someone else. And that right there is the circle of life in a nutshell.
I was hoping it was gonna like fertilize a plant and roses.
No, because birds shit. It does that too, but I
was hoping that's where we were going.
Imagine the possibilities, like. They shit on a lot of shit. Like, just remember that carrot or that fucking tomato you're eating got shit on by something. There was some form of fucking manure on there.
Oh my goodness! It's the year of the ox.
It is the year of the ox.
of the metal ox.
The metal ox?
Yes.
What's that, like some weird Transformer shit?
I don't know. You'd have to look up the Chinese zodiac.
Full metal ox fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is that?
But if you think of an ox, I like that, because if you think of an ox, like, they're very stern and stoic and strong, but they also, like, are super chill.
They are. They're not super aggressive unless they gotta be.
Eating, yeah, but they keep steady. Their focus is
where did you learn that? I learned that on TV because I watch shit and I believe what they say.
I watch National Geographic.
I watch National Geographic and I believe what they say. Don't know me.
I thought that was interesting. But that's what I've been trying to do. Is like, I'm always trying to figure out the seasons of the universe. So I'm trying to figure out fucking
Full Metal Alchemist fucking Patty over here. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to turn gold.
While I'm sitting here
trying to make gold out of thin air.
Hey, what I'm sitting here just thinking about what I'm gonna post next on the gram. Patty's over here fucking studying the science of life in the universe and how the fucking this little rolling fucking pincher bug on the ground affects the butterfly effect of everyone else and shit. I heard the fuck out of that. There's something so wrong with you. There's some definitely.
We are all students of this life, my friend.
We are. All right, fucking woosah, Patty. Get the fuck out of that. So, I know that you. I think we talked about this already. I'm not sure, but you know already the new fucking bill passed.
Yeah, the new one now.
The new one.
This is the third one, right? This is the
Have you been
bill?
Getting your shit or no?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Patty's like so fucking anti. Patty still got a clamshell phone from the fucking. She's got a Nokia somewhere. I'm sure of it. You know what I'm saying?
I send smoke signals.
Fucking.
I'd be sending beeper messages. So good. Pigeon carrier. I
was gonna say, let me find out Patty got pigeons somewhere and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck out of here. Nah, so Patty.
Morse code.
Wherever modern technology is at, Patty's at least 10 years behind. So. Let me make sure. Like she just found out like last year or two what a podcast was like. Yeah, and now she's producing one and fucking actually being a guest host on it and everything. So much. But yeah, the new stimmy pass.
I still use a wooden stove.
Still using a wooden stove. Patty got those handheld clippers that you just squeeze.
Feel about it though, because you know that they try to slip in a BART project for that. And they were like, no. Like,
yeah, because they're probably like,
slipped that in there real quick.
They're like, the Bay Area, fuck you guys.
Isn't it the
Get
same
your own
thing
fucking money
as everything else? And I think it's the same like situation where I think we were talking about last time, where they slipped in hella shit that had to deal with foreign aid and.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you like this.
And you know we bombed Syria. I heard the other day.
Yeah, we did bomb Syria. Look, so I'm gonna tell you like this, and for all the people that were like, you know, that are probably thinking as like y'all was giving the Trump supporters a lot of shit. Just because we have a new president and it's the Democrats, that doesn't mean that shit has changed. The only difference is that while the Republicans blatantly don't respect you, the Democrats will hide that they don't respect you. You do
that was kind of weird to me because someone was like, "Well, at least Trump's out." I was like, "Okay," because you've seen those videos of Biden, right? With
the
kids,
creepy videos,
which is I don't know if
the sniffy sniff videos.
I don't know if they're real. I don't know what sort of context it is, but something with me it just looks weird. So I'm like, so again, they want to satisfied with nothing. It's like, well, at least we don't have an overt racist anymore. But now we have a secret pedophile. Like what? Like that's fine as long as he's secretive about it. Like it's just funny. Like these are our choices.
Well, think about it like this. Though. I think the only reason why
I don't know.
The only reason why Trump won was because Hillary was the choice, the other opposite choice. So people were like, hell no. I think even people secretly that didn't even really fuck with Trump probably fucked with Hillary.
Well, at that point, people didn't think Trump was racist too, because that was before he said
no,
the whole Mexican
but he was still saying shit. But yeah, but he was still on. He still had accusations for a lot of shit, and you gotta think about it like. Besides Obama, I don't think that and I think President Bush. I don't think no one ever got at President Bush, but there hasn't been very many presidents that hasn't had any kind of sexual fucking allegations. You dig what I'm saying? Trump had them.
This is a little.
Biden
kids,
had
though.
them though. But these are not allegations for little kids though. That's the thing. It's like there's no one ever been like I'm a little kid and this nigga sniffed me wrong. It's just you see pictures and they're awkward as fuck, or video they're hella awkward. It's like why is he doing that? Like you know what I'm saying? Like the difference is that. You know,
there's no difference to me. I don't like either of them. I don't care.
No.
I don't like either
all
of
I'm
them.
saying is the difference is that while Trump, you know, had actually people come to the forefront, there's no kids or parents that came to the forefront and said, "Is Joe Biden sniffed my daughter wrong?" or "She made him feel weird like that." It's just creepy footage that don't get me wrong. It's like out of pocket to begin with, and unless you have flat out people proof saying that he's a pedophile, you can't go and say that he's that. You can't say that, bro. That's like me calling just anybody a racist or a fucking a rapist or whatever. And just because I say it, that doesn't make it exactly fact unless I'm coming to the table full facts. You dig what I'm saying? Like anybody could put a rumor out about anyone is what I'm saying. Look, neither here nor there. Either way, I don't like it. I don't like that these videos that I've seen, like I said, they're kind of out of pocket in a lot of different ways. They're really out of pocket in a lot of different ways. But the difference is, like I said, no one's come to the forefront and actually accuse them. We're talking about actual accusations, inappropriate shit, whatever the fuck. Trump has had it. Bill Clinton has had it, obviously.
I mean, a lot of cancel culture has to do with that because the media is going to emphasize what they want to emphasize and put
but that's why I'm telling you that.
Like, everybody was on people, like, okay, kids in cages. That hasn't changed.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But the
narrative have.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
The media focuses
when people want to slander your fucking name, that's the first thing they're going to do.
No, like, to me, what bothers me is that people just kind of run with shit.
But that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
The media is saying this about this person, and then everybody else says it, and everybody echoes it.
That's what I'm saying.
And then they're like, well, it must be truth. But people don't realize how powerful the media is. The media made Martin Luther King look like shit. I'm not fucking defending Trump in any shape, form, or fashion, or comparing.
No, for sure.
I'm just saying the power of the media.
But the difference is, like I said, back to what I'm saying, there's a difference between people seeing videos and being like, oh, that looks out of pocket or kind of creepy. And there's a difference between somebody, an actual person, coming out to the forefront and saying, hey, this motherfucker grabbed my booty cheeks, or he said some foul shit to me. And even then, I feel like that's propaganda that they use to like weaponize against somebody to make them look bad. Like, okay, well, you knew him. We're going to pay you some money. But it
goes for anybody then.
No, it does. But the difference is that everybody ain't a president. The difference
is who's in control of the media.
Exactly. And no.
That's
and
what
also
it is.
The difference is that everybody ain't the fucking president. Now, I could, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, but it does matter. It's kind of the same scale because there's a difference. There's a difference between somebody out there spreading a rumor about me and say, you know what, Blaze is a fucking sexist and he fucking makes his females do this, that, and other remedial shit. Like he fucking doesn't believe they should drive a car or some crazy shit, right? There's a difference between somebody saying that I do that and the difference between somebody saying, hey, Blaze never let me drive a car when I was with him. He was real sexist.
No, see, what bothers me with that is that, okay, so they said that with Blaze, and because for whatever reason, let's say whoever's putting that out there don't like you. So they gonna be like, look what he does. But then the next person comes along who's just like you, not just like you, because ain't nobody like you, but comes around and does the same thing, same accusations, but they're like, no, we ain't gonna sit there and focus on that. We're gonna do this. So that's like the whole, like I said, like the whole
cancel culture shit is a wash. I don't give a fuck. Fuck
but
all you motherfuckers. But the
media and social media, and that includes social, plays a really big part in that. And that's what bothers me is that it gets echoed, and because it gets echoed, we become brainwashed by repetition. You learn your ABCs by hearing it over and over and over, and eventually, and
only if you allow it.
There's scientific fact that shows that when you hear something enough, you start to believe it. That's why it's so important how you talk to people. That's why if you have a little kid, you don't want to sit there and call them stupid and dumb all the time, because even when they're not stupid and dumb, because no child is, they're gonna believe it. And they're gonna start to believe it.
But
they're gonna start to believe it. So you constantly hear this. That's why I'm saying, like, I just don't trust the media. So that's because the accusations are just like, oh well, somebody didn't come out and say this, doesn't mean, what if they signed an NDA and they just didn't, like I said, I don't know. I don't like either of them.
We're saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing. For argument's sake, we're saying the same thing.
And they're making us try to be satisfied with nothing. And it's just bullshit.
Well,
so,
I'm going to tell you like this. If you're the type of person that lets the media hype you up and tell you how you should feel or how you should think about someone else, then...
It's kind of like the same thing with the corona thing. So the numbers are still really bad with corona, but that's not the focus anymore. As you said, the focus is now based upon everybody getting the vaccine and everybody opening back up. But if you go do the research for yourself and you go think for yourself, you'll realize things are really the same. But the only thing that's different is the focus and the perspective.
I kind of feel like they were trying to find a way to snake themselves out of giving the stimulus. So they were trying to open things up before they could come to a solution about it. Because like it's just wild, bro. It's
weird how the media is manipulating.
That's why I don't fuck with them. Like,
and you know who owns the media companies?
All the fucking rich elite. I already know
a lot of the pharmaceutical companies.
So look, think of it like this. I purposely didn't get cable because of that.
Really?
Because I don't want to look at the news. I don't give a fuck. To be honest with you, at this point in time, if shit doesn't directly affect the way of life that I'm living.
For you, yeah. Like more
then
directly.
I can't give it that energy because it'll break me apart.
The bombardment of information. Again, the attack on the mind.
Exactly. It's attack on your mind and on your peace. That doesn't mean that I can't make conscious actions to...
Or you want to be ignorant.
Or I want to be ignorant.
Or you don't want to be informed.
Or ignorance is bliss. No, I want to be informed. But I don't want that biased, pounded in my ear, make me feel like this is the only way, lose hope, fucking follow the leader type shit. I'm good. And what makes me really sad is when I see people on the internet that get their news from sources they don't even know are fucking for sure or not. But they fucking from random website, and they not only do they run with it, they dedicate their fucking life to it,
but
bro.
Look how they were for these politicians this last election. They were gang banging for these politicians, literally gang banging,
and swearing
for
up
these
and
men
down
that they never met.
Swearing up and down they knew what the fuck they were talking about.
Yes, both sides.
But that's what I was saying. It's like, look, it's easy. Bringing it back to our main point, it's easy to be like, yo, Biden's a creep, Biden's this, we got a pedophile, but you don't know, like I said,
the same thing with Trump. The same thing
with Trump. People like to call Biden a pedophile. The Trumpers like to call Biden a pedophile, but forget that Biden was really tight with Henry Weinstein. What was his name? Not Weinstein. The other
Harvey
dude.
Weinstein.
No. The other dude that got killed.
Epstein?
Jeffrey Epstein. It's like don't act like they weren't buddies. Okay, so if you're really all that shit, it's like I hate when people from either side, regardless of what you believe in, only pick and choose what they want to believe.
Please,
instead of if these are the rules we're playing with, then accept everything else that's out there. Exactly.
And don't
for instance, like I don't really trust the media to begin with, but if you're riding on the media and everything the media says, then run with everything the media says. What you mean. Like don't just the fucking rules have pick to be consistent. Exactly. The standards have to be because consistent. It's bullshit. Other than that, you're just a fucking tool and you're just being used to fucking push an agenda.
The alternative news sources, like, you know, the ones that were pushing all the other stuff. I was like, okay, you guys are trying to expose information and trying to, like, you know, be a voice for the voiceless, but then you're now taken away from your credibility because you're doing exactly what mainstream media is now. You're manipulating because
they're trying to fight fire with fire,
and you're trying to, and now you're being biased.
They feel like they're losing ground, so they gotta stoop to their level. Now you're
being biased, and so that made me kind of believe, like, now I don't know who to believe because now you guys are both using the same tricks. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
To be honest with you, my main focus, and like I said, and it comes down to it, we talked about it before, is that you got to be able to focus and influence your sphere of where you live at first, your neighborhood, your people, your friends. That's all you can control,
or else, as you said, you're gonna go crazy.
Yeah, and that's why you protect your peace, bro. You protect your peace. Like I said, it's like, don't get me wrong. A lot. Let's say, let's be generous. Let's say that like 80% of the media, when I mean media, Fox, CNN, all the fucking major platforms. When I say that, let's say 80% of it is fact and 20% of it's bullshit. That 20% bullshit is more potent than the 80% fact because they sensationalize it and they spin it and they dramatize it. It's like
and then they fearmonger.
It's the realest reality show ever because I could show you a picture of my car and it could look like it's candy paint and coated depending on what angle I give you, or I could give you the real picture of it and it could look like a dusty bucket.
Not just that, but we've seen what the power of media or pictures can do. You could take a picture and it looks super clean and nice, and you go see that car in person on Craigslist and you like, this does not look the same. It's the same car, but it does not look the same.
This car uploaded its high school yearbook picture. This is not its real picture, bro.
And we've actually known people who have been on the news and how they've portrayed people. How they're
I've been on the news.
And how they portray you like this person is dangerous and armed and but they didn't tell you, oh yeah, you know, they grew up in a bad home, they were beat every day.
Let me tell you
and
a
they
story.
robbed this person that they could feed their little brother. Like they didn't tell you none of that part though, right?
Let me tell you how ill it is, right?
Like that's why, and that's one of the reasons, and we knew that from a young age. Like cops beating up little kids, we don't hear nothing about that though, right? Like we didn't hear nothing about
they pick and choose.
Whooping the 13, 14, 15-year-old ass though, right? But you guys are gonna focus on how bad they are. That's when I knew right there. When I knew people for sure, I was like, wow, they could really just lie like that in the paper to the whole public and without any repercussions, and nobody has any consequences.
The media is trash.
That's why from a young age I was like,
So look, let me tell you how real that is, right? Look, let me give you a little
real life example.
a microcosm of that whole thing, right? Like, we went to LA recently, and we were trying to get an Airbnb. So my brother had an account, and his homegirl had an account, but they didn't really have a lot of rentals, because Airbnb goes by like how the person owning the property goes. They rate you by a few factors. One is like
whether they're gonna approve you or actually
whether approve you to well think of it like this. Me and you, we own property, but we sign up for Airbnb, and that's what we're using it for. The app allows us to pick and choose criteria, you know, for the person that's the potential people that are gonna rent your spot.
Renters, okay.
So some people were like, no, we can't rent it to you because this is a new account and you don't have a lot of ratings.
Okay. A lot of history.
Positive ratings.
You need some like credibility.
Exactly. Right. You don't have a lot of positive ratings at Airbnb. So this Airbnb ain't up to you, right?
Okay.
So a lot of people do Airbnbs and throw parties and fuck it up for everybody, right? It's stupid. They don't even clean their shit. It's like, okay, if you're going to throw a party and you're not going to fucking... It's not even that. It's like, you know, because neighbors, you got to think of it like this. I'm a homeowner. Me and you, you live here. I live over there, and we got a neighbor that lives in between us, and they're fucking wrecked. They're a train wreck. Yeah. No, but they're a train wreck. They fucking party all the time. They bring people. So people that own houses, and then they know a neighbor's at Airbnb because they see different people every week or every day, they kind of like already complain about that shit. So that's how you get a bad rating on these Airbnbs. So my brother, he tried to get the Airbnb in his name, brand new. No, his homegirl tried to get it first. They turned us down for 3 places after they already locked us in and took the money. They gave the money back like, oh no, we can't because
you're not approved.
You're not approved, and they came up. You were, and they came up. You're not. Yeah, they came up with some bullshit like, oh, you know what? You don't got a lot of renters history, and we have to have at least 3 or 4 positive reviews on your account, you know, from Airbnb people that you rented, because the renter could actually leave a review like, this was a good tenant, clean, da 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 da.
It's kind of like Uber, you guys could rate each other.
Exactly, just like anything else, right? Like Yelp. So she got shot down. You're too young, they said. We want people 25 and older, and you're fucking, what's it called? You don't have a lot of history. My brother, the same thing. They looked at his picture.
Too young, not enough rating.
Yeah, they looked at his picture. But they have a profile picture. You have to upload a profile picture. This motherfucker got tattoo on the side of his head. Half his neck is tatted. Was it the one where his head was showing? I hope for the sake of argument that he didn't have like one of his fucking Facebook or Instagram pictures. When he's pictures of right? Chico, like. So he tells me and we got a group. So we're like a group DM. And we got like a couple people that are supposed to go. So we're all putting our money in like, okay, get the Airbnb. We're going to go do the cypher. We're going to do this. We're on business. We're not coming to party. We're not throwing house parties or anything like that. So it's all business. So they keep going. They keep getting canceled. I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm older. I'm a fucking make an Airbnb. And my brother was like, I'm not going to lie. They probably I need to wear a hat in my next Airbnb picture.
But that's bullshit.
It's bullshit. Yeah, we already established that.
But it's true.
But it goes but it's true, right? It goes back to what we're saying. Mm-hmm. So then I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make an Airbnb. I'm older. My credit's good. Let me get this motherfucking
do this.
No, but I told them, I was like, oh, they tripping off pictures. So I literally uploaded a picture.
Your work picture?
No. I'm gonna show you how real it is, right? Like,
are you like this?
Nah, hell nah.
Are you like this?
Nah, hell nah. So check it out. I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna let you describe my profile picture.
Oh my goodness, I can only. He looks like, God, where do you look like you work at? Like, you look like you work like some Square Bear place with a picture with, bro, he's a cat dad in his fucking profile picture, bro. So he has his cat next to him. Just so his cat looks hella funny too. Like, his cat's like.
The cat looks scared though, like a hostage. So look.
He looks like he loves the shit out of that cat.
Context for the people. Hold on. So, a couple months ago when I moved in.
Very non-threatening.
Context for the people. Hold on. Let me bring the people up to speed because you see it, so I gotta explain it to them. So look, a couple months ago, I moved into my new house, and when we got there was a stray cat, and the stray cat would come up to me, and it was hella dope. It was like a blue pit colored calico, and it would come up to me, so I would feed it all the time. So then I called it the weekend because I would only see it on the weekends.
She would only come on the weekends.
So I picked it up one day and I took a selfie with it, and I sent it to my girl like when it first popped up, like, look at my cat I found, right? So I'm like, okay, back to the present. I'm like, okay, motherfuckers tripping off profile pictures and shit. Let's
play this game.
We could do this.
That's how I am. I'm like, this is the game we playing? I can do that. I can play that.
Yeah.
I can be a player in that. I can win.
So what I do? I went and when I did an Airbnb account, and when they asked me to upload a profile picture, it's a picture of me holding the cat, the one that I took to show my girl. And I look like a fucking dork.
You should put it on Instagram just so you can...
I look like a dork. And I sent it to my bro. I was like, fuck that. I sent it to the group chat.
Non-threatening.
I sent it to the group chat. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. They tripping off. Because he was like, I think they were tripping off my profile pic. I'm going to wear a hat in my next one. I'm like, man, fuck that. I was like, look at my profile pic. I was like, I dare them to say something.
It's all about chess, baby.
It's all about chess, baby. Now, you do know that I already lost from the gate because I was brown. But if I could have got a white boy, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white boy, to motherfucking take a picture with a cat, I get any Airbnb I want. And you know what? We could place that up to facts. We could get scientists. We could get the motherfucking National Guard to pull up, and we could fucking all run that test. And I guarantee you 10 out of 10 times, the white boy with the cat's getting picked.
Nachos.
And shout out to my white folks. It's not disrespect. I love y'all, but you know, let's just be real.
That story, like that's
that's new. That's new right there because our last adventure. But see, that just goes to show you, like I said, the perspective and the way people are and the perception. It's like, yo.
I remember one time I went to I work for myself and I've worked for myself for a really long time. And I went to one of my clients' house, and at this time I didn't have a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So the only good pants that I had were they were like ripped jeans, but they were like made like that, like that was a style and stuff like that. So at that time, those were my only good pants that I had. So I went to go meet with this client with clean clothes, but they were ripped jeans. Mm. And she didn't hire me because I had ripped jeans. And then she hired somebody else who ended up doing her shiesty. Yeah. Which was crazy clean because cut. I'm super I'm total I don't
brand
do people
new
shiesty
haircut.
I don't rock like that. Like, that's just not in me. Like, I don't.
But that's wild, though,
and so, that's funny because, and that's why I'm saying, I'm not defending anybody because I don't have enough information to do that.
And we were great tenants, by the way.
But we don't know these people. We can't judge them, but we can, just make decisions.
But that's society.
And to each its own, we have the right to make decisions.
That's our prejudice and our perspectives, bro. That's society and that's the prejudice.
And that's why I think that you just have to collect your own information. That's what it comes down to, people. Like, I'm not defending or pro anybody, but just get what I'm trying to say is just get the information for yourself. Unbiased information as much as possible. Think for yourself. Analyze for yourself.
And don't let nobody gas you up, bro.
But you got to be open to new information.
You do, but there's a difference when somebody's overzealous about, you have to, the way they post these posts on Instagram and Facebook is that, we're under attack and this, that.
Those who protest too much are usually the ones that are lying or in denial, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So
it's like, look, I'm all for.
So that's why what's going on now is funny to me because I'm just
even with. I told my son today, we were talking because it's funny because he's actually trying to apply for a job. And I told him, I was like, you know what, son, unfortunately, you're going to apply for a job. And if you don't know somebody to work there, your fucking chances of getting that job is double, 10. It's not your chances of getting, your chances of not getting that job doubles. Because unfortunately, it's the hardest type of job to get is the one where you just walk in and nobody fucking know you. That doesn't mean it's impossible. No. But when you go somewhere and someone referred you, you definitely got a better.
Sometimes it's not what you know. Sometimes it's
who you know. Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not bagging that. But at the same time, it's I told him, I was the fact that you know people at these jobs you're applying to, that right there is just a big step up because they could vouch for you as a person rather than you know, they gotta go by a physical appearance and how you're dressed and how you carry yourself. Oh, this motherfucker's kind of weird, and it could be it could be their own prejudice that why they're judging you, and they could be totally fucking wrong about you, but because they don't fucking know you and they're going by how they were raised, that they're gonna fucking shit on you and be like, you know, this motherfucker, nah, yeah, you know what, that motherfucker had Crocs on. I don't know if I could. I don't know. Nah. He had it's the Crocs. People are fucking weird like that. And then you know what? You lose the team players like all the time. Like
like how we were just saying, like the lady, you know, discerned me based on her prejudice and went with somebody who looked more acceptable, and that
got
person
burnt.
ended up
and got burnt.
them.
And she passed over a solid person that in her eyes physically, because she had ripped jeans, was lesser or was not appropriate or didn't show the level of respect. Like, I feel like all that shit is trash, bro. I feel like you should be able to, I'm not saying to go in there wrinkled up shirt and looking like you just rolled out of fucking bed. Always a good judge of somebody's character is always just how they present themselves. That doesn't mean that they have to have $1 million clothes or whatever. Like, but you know, what kind of care did you take in yourself? That doesn't mean you have to wear makeup or, you know, but did you comb your hair? Don't go in there with some nappy ass knotted hair.
Don't go in there with no effort.
Eye boogers in your eyes.
You have to put some sort of
you ain't brush your teeth and like, you know, certain things like that is because, you know, people, real employers that are looking from like a non-biased perspective, a team player, they're going to be like, okay, what does he know? And is he, you know, what is he, can he, does he look like he has some kind of organization to himself? Is he put together? That doesn't mean that if I look at somebody and they come in with ripped jeans, I'm not gonna judge them from ripped jeans. I'm gonna judge them about how they carry themselves. Of course, I'm gonna look at the criteria. Okay, this is your this is your resume or whatever, or you're a new person. Okay, if I know you're a new booty and you never had a job, then I'm gonna look at you at that. I'm not gonna hold you to something else and look at you because you don't know this or that. It's like, come on now.
You tell Lil Teen he's gonna get a whole bunch of no's before he gets a yes, and that's just a part of the job game. Like,
well, shit is opening up, so shit's opening up. So,
and what will help him a lot is bothering them. I remember when I was younger and I didn't have a lot of job experience, and they were like, I stood out because I harassed them.
And you know what? And that goes back to what we're saying.
And I was honestly like, I've gotten every job that I've actually like really, really sought after because of that.
So, and that goes to what we're saying. It's like, if you're an employer, you're trying to hire somebody, right? Or whatever, you're a fucking crackhead or you're a crack dealer or whatever the fuck you are you going to hire the person that hits you up? It's like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. And because he didn't look like how you wanted him to dress.
But now he's calling you every day. He was like, ooh, exactly. They serious.
Exactly. Ooh. Are you going to hire the dude that's well put together, but he barely shows any interest? He's like, I don't care if I get this job or not. Or are you going to hire the guy that looks hungry, he's ready to work, and he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Like, my name is blah, 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 and I was just trying to check up on the status of my application because I'm very interested in the position.
So I'm very interested. You know what I'm saying? Ready to fuck with it.
So let him know and let him know not to get discouraged because that's just how the game goes. It's a numbers game. There's like 100
you know
people
what?
going after
and now that we're like starting to come off a lockdown, no, he's like, you know what I mean? He's able to
and then he's 18.
Because they changed a lot of shit. You know that they weren't really hiring a lot of underage people when Corona was around.
Well, they couldn't. You said because of the liability, probably.
That's what I don't know what it was, but he was 17, so it was like, yo, he still had.
Still, if he caught it or some shit, and he's a kid, like they're probably fucking all the shit telling new the coronavirus still new. People try to sue you. Oh, you kept an unsafe work environment for my baby, and he caught Corona, and now.
Hey, because, you know, also people are going to be like, whatever. It's like, come on now. It's like, it's weird, yo. It's weird. The shit's opening back up.
So what are you looking forward to now? Okay, like, what has changed? And what are you feel like you're going to change? And how your perspective has changed now that things are opening back up? Are you going to do anything different that you would have not done if Corona didn't happen?
Well, I think that when things start opening up, I do miss communal things, like community things. Like, I want to be, you know, ain't nothing like the energy of being
around
a lot of people. And whether
That's true.
But not only a lot of people, because you could be in prison and be around a lot of people. That doesn't make it fucking cool. Like, what I'm saying is that being around a lot of people that we're all focused on one thing. So for instance, like going to a concert, going to a bar where you, or someone where we all came to drink. There's always gonna be some stupid ass dickheads doing some stupid shit, but for the most part, we came to drink and listen to music and have a good time. You dig what I'm saying? So
one thing I want to do, and I probably never really cared before, I want to go to like a sporting event. I want to go to like a basketball game.
Yes.
And I would have never wanted to do that before Corona, because
Yeah.
I did realize the power of having, again, the energy that you receive just from being around other people. And a basketball game is cool. Like, everybody got good vibes. Everybody just watching a game, trying to chill, etc., etc.
98% of the time it's like that. I mean, there's always some bullshit that pops off. But if you're in a good vibe, you're not worried about it. You're in your bubble. So those types
of things, like, I'll probably be more open to being in more social settings, because
I think it makes you want to thirst for life a little bit more. Like, okay, I get it. Like, if you're a real introspective person, you're real a recluse, or just somebody that likes to be on their own, I feel like this Corona shit ain't nothing new to you, you know, because you've been living like that already. But when you look around and you see other people really like missing,
that made me sad.
Well, no, it doesn't make me sad as much as it does. It makes me be like, okay, well, I'm missing out on something. Let me at least give it a try. Let me at least give it a try.
Like, because I have a lot of friends and people who I care about who are extroverts, and they're like, because that's how they feed and that's how they feel.
Man,
and
fuck
that's how they
that.
Get their
I would say like this: if you can't,
like,
somebody today, look on everything. Somebody
not
today,
like they were dying or anything,
fuck
but
that.
It was just like they felt like they were missing out on life. Their pain is their pain. What the
somebody
fuck?
Today, we're talking about everything, like, and it's not like somebody in my regular circle. It's just like somebody, like an acquaintance that I see every now and then, and you just chop it up with them for a minute. They were like, "Oh yeah, bro." They were like, "Oh, this whole Corona stuff, bro. This shit's crazy. Like, I'm now, you know what I'm saying? Now that everything's going back to normal, like, you know, what did he say? Fuck, he said some wild shit, right?
Think about it. I want to hear.
No, I know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember.
Take your time.
He was like, yeah, I'm a stoner, by the way, y'all. So shit
time.
like this happens. This is what you call brain fart.
There's no rush.
But we were talking about it today, and he was like, you know what I'm saying? Fuck, Blaze, you forgot what you were saying. Hold on, just try to stall and think about
I was talking about extroverts, and I think you were talking about people not being able to sit down. I felt bad for my extroverts. You're saying right now, stop being a creep in the microphone.
Try to think of something that's going to be smart so you don't look crazy on the podcast.
Don't look stupid on the podcast.
Don't look stupid on the podcast.
Don't look stupid on the podcast. No, I was talking about how I felt bad for my extrovert folks, because a lot of them felt like they were kind of missing out on life, and you're like, man, if they can't.
Oh yeah, they're giving me snitchy vibes.
Really?
They're giving me snitchy vibes. No, that's what it was. So look, he was like, yeah, bro. He saw this whole Corona shit, bro. It felt like I was locked up. I was like, locked up? I was like, this feels like nothing like locked up, okay? Because first of all, there ain't no pussy in jail, unless that's the kind of vibe you're on. And that's still not pussy, by the way, for all the motherfuckers that like ass and shit. You know what I'm saying? So jail for me, there was no pussy. I didn't get to eat what I want. The food sucked. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get to go home and feel a loving touch and be around my kid. So for a motherfucker to sit there and tell me like, yo, this was like being in jail. It's like, nah, bro, this is nothing like being in jail. Don't get me wrong. It still sucked. And because like I said, we're people that, you know, as by nature, we want to be out there in society, but I'm like, bro, don't compare this to jail, bro.
So first of all,
you got me fucked up. And anybody that's like, oh, I can't, I don't know what I'm gonna do, motherfucker. You could, if you went to jail, you're ratting on everybody. I don't give a fuck what you say, because if you went to jail, nigga, I'm telling you, I didn't go home. Attica. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that.
I feel what you're saying on that. I feel that there's some truth to that, but there's
a lot of truth to that.
But it was also truth. First of all,
downplay my shit.
I'm not downplaying anything, Papa. I respect your perspective, but if you didn't go to prison, you might well as be one of those people, not a snitch, but somebody who's like, I can't sit still. I can't sit.
Nah,
prison
you know
trained you to sit still.
No, you know why? Because I'm the type of person that always looks at things and be like, you know what? It could be so much worse.
True. That's
so
good.
Imagine being somebody incarcerated during the pandemic. Well, we're out here bitching about, oh, you know what, my favorite restaurant ain't open. I can't walk through the mall, or I can't get a haircut, or you know what, I can't fucking, you know what I'm saying, because my bitch is out there fucking everybody, you know what I'm saying?
So, again, we don't know how a lot of people, again, they're extroverted, they're codependent. They have to be around people.
And you're right.
A lot of
and
people
a
are
lot
like
of pussy. A lot of people are pussy too. You know, mad pussy.
And so I just don't like to downplay anybody's plight or like.
I don't like to downplay.
If that's how you really feel. That's how you really feel.
I don't downplay it, but I just can't relate. When you tell me that, I was like, bruh, I'm like, I'm not probably the best person to try to compare Jared shit to, because it's like, if you really, and then he would try to be like, he was like, when I said that, like, I don't think he knew I had been locked up before, because like I said, it's an acquaintance, and he was like, oh. He's like, where have you been locked up at? Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I've been locked up a lot, bro. So there's been a few places, you know what I'm saying? But in my mind, I'm like, I don't know this dude like that. I'm not finna tell you all my shit. Like, trying to get the rundown on me, bro. It's like, oh, yeah. Like, he got hella excited. Like, bro, man, go watch fucking a crime movie or a crime story if you want to.
Go watch Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, man. Fuck out of here trying to figure me out and shit. It's like, bro, you already done said too much.
Maybe you're taking things
like I said,
personal. Maybe
no, I'm being observant. Like I said, I'm being observant. I wasn't taking shit personal, because it's like, I also know that when he was like, oh, it's like being locked down, I already knew from that moment. I'm like, bro, you don't know shit about jail. So like, you know what I mean? I knew who I was dealing with. But that's why I had to like let it be known. It's like, bro, this shit ain't shit like jail. You know what I'm saying? This shit is nothing like prison. I'm like, you can still get pussy in the pandemic. You can still get money. You can still eat what you want in the pandemic. You ain't got a racist ass fucking cop telling you what the fuck to do.
The media made it seem like it was like, don't leave your house ever.
But that's the problem, though, and that's what I tell people. Like even now, if you hear me say something,
some people really lived like that. Some people really lived like they were in a bubble. Like they lived based on fear. And that's basically what jail is, though, right? Like, jail is a constant fear that they put on you. Again, they lock up your mind first so that they can lock up your body.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what the media, if you sat there and you
jail is an isolation, though, on a different level. Like, it
totally,
is
totally. It's two different ballgames. I think they're totally two different ballgames.
And you're right.
But the concept towards the mind, not saying that they were trying.
But the difference
but it was
is
weird
that
how
if you allow yourself to be conditioned by that, because there's a lot of people that don't watch TV at all, and they're not like, they're older and they're like, I don't give a fuck about none of that to begin with. So they're like super carefree, no mask. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll wear a mask if that's what I need to do to go in the store. But if I don't have to, I won't.
If you are somebody who actually watched the news and took in and tried to live the right way, air quotes, and you listen to the news and you followed everything that they said, they had people feeling like the vibe they put on it was like, people are dying, you need to wear gloves, you need to stay, like, it's weird.
You also got to remember something else, though. If you're the type of person that fucking listened to President Trump and went and drank bleach because there was cases out there of people that doing that, then you already are fucked to begin with. You might as well just end it all and fucking reset and come back as a new person and try it again. No, I don't.
Nobody here at the No Invite podcast condones suicide.
I don't mean that. I mean, like, be a hero. Go jump in front of a bunch of fucking bullets for somebody to save somebody else's life.
That's like, suicide, boy.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You're a hero. What's the difference between being a hero and dying for someone else and suicide?
Suicide is suicide, but you were heroic. You were a hero in your suicide. It's still suicide.
They're both the same, right?
It's still suicide.
They're both the same, right?
What do you mean?
Like, they're both basically the same. Being a hero and suicide is basically the same thing.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You're saying, and now you're saying that's not what you're saying.
No. I said no. I asked you. I was like, they're basically both the same thing, right?
And that's what I was like, don't tell people to go end it all.
I'm not telling
them to go jump in front of some bullets to be a hero. Like,
no. Let's get this. Let's rewind that real quick. Let's get this right. Like I said, if you're the type of person, if you're the type, I don't even know what she said, but it's, you know what I mean. But yeah, no, I know. But what I'm saying is, if you're the type of person that you're just gonna live and die by what other people say, then it's already a wrap. It's already a wrap for you, anyways. I'm not saying go hurt yourself.
Think for yourself.
I would never want nobody to hurt yourself. But if you think like that, you listening blindly to just one thing and that's gonna fucking make you better, then you're hurting yourself already. Like I said, like the pandemic, it was like there's a lot of people that were really happy that and they didn't really change much for them because they weren't like so involved with social media, so involved with the media at large, and they weren't like living their life based on what they think. They were making their own perspective, and they were living their life on their terms instead of fucking getting hyped up and getting fucking, you know, pumped up in the comments to go say something or do something. And you know, in the social media shit, banging. They weren't mad at breakfast. They weren't banging on bacon and shit when they woke up. We have to understand
though that the media is a very powerful tool. So everybody guard yourselves. Because it's a weapon.
Just remember, it's a tool, and if your hand ain't the one that's controlling the tool, then whose hand is on the tool? Whose hand is holding the hammer, and who the fuck's the nail?
Is it silent weapons for quiet wars, or quiet weapons for silent wars, or?
That sounds like a porno.
Yeah, no, it's not.
That's wild, Pat. Is this what the fuck you been doing this whole time? Like Pat's like, I've been watching Silent Weapons.
Oh my gosh, you've never heard of that? Of that theory?
No, I have. No, that's from what's it called? The Bill Cooper that wrote the fucking
but it's like
Behold the Pale Horse.
And not just him though, but it's a it makes sense.
Patty's all the freaks out silent weapons for strangle me a little bit.
There's something so wrong with you. And then I hang
a little asphyxiation going on over here.
Goodness. Gosh.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
Are we done now?
No, we're not. No, we're not. We still haven't. Since shit is coming off lockdown, my goal is to go do back to what the fuck the initial point was. My thing is that I want to just go do more shit. I just want to experience more life. And I want to do more communal stuff. I want to be around people. Like, I miss being around. Like I said, that energy, like performing. Wow, I miss that. And the wildest shit. Look, this is how life works, and this is how God works. Whatever you believe is God, right? Is that before the pandemic, I was like fed up with doing shows.
Yeah, you were kind of. You kind of had.
I was like burnt out. Moment. I was like burnt out because we run our own promotions. Like,
I'm gonna be working more on production and
like I was just like, you know what, I'm tired of doing shows. I want to get off shows for a while, and I want to do like other shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Record more music, get back to my roots and shit. And now I fucking am fiending for it, bro. I would love to jump in front of like. Just jump at the opportunity.
You just want to go perform.
I just want to feel that energy. You want to express
yourself. We need to do that.
And it ain't nothing like being around a bunch of drunk, harmonious people that are like, fuck yeah, they're having a good time, bro.
Something that made me realize.
You fucking rocked, Blaze.
Something that made me realize since the pandemic occurred was I always knew like one person moves 1,000, two moves 10,000, you know, like
momentum and all that shit.
It's just something that's natural, just Super like human nature. Like there's just
human natural. That's between natural and natural. Like
fucking, you were sitting here. Shut the fuck up.
Whatever.
We're gonna stumble over words.
I finessed
and
it better.
Anyway, but there's just something about that. There's just something natural about the energy.
It's all natural.
Natural.
She said natural like a bougie person.
Natural.
Supernatural, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, past the crystal.
And it's again, like, I just want to kind of go to like a basketball game or like a sporting event or something where everybody's like the focus, where there's a whole bunch of people focused on one thing, because there's something about that energy, that focused energy from a lot of humans. It's just, again, it's something that's just natural. I think that there's power in that, and I didn't realize it the way that I realize it now.
And I think that for the most part, what you're realizing is also what like these big corporations and big money people have always realized, is that if you could stoke the masses into focusing on one thing, you could move mountains. You feel me?
True.
And that's what they do.
To me, I like to look at it as like the magic of people.
No, we are the magic. But what I'm saying is these big corporations were smart enough to recognize the magic and know what it does, and they found ways to exploit it in order to.
Not just that though, but is it the other way around, where like people just enjoyed something that much, where they needed something, they needed organization.
No, yeah, I mean,
this person was so good at this sport. Like, I like to think, like, what do they say?
It's like, entertainment.
TV was made for people. I think people made TV in a sense. Like, somebody was so great at what they did that the audience that they had just locally, or the reach that they had, was too little. Like, this person needs to be displayed. This person's energy and magic and talent. You should hear this motherfucker. You should see Chuck Berry dance. I like that. Like that's
that's the power of social media.
What if people were like this person's so good at basketball, like other people need to see this. Like other people need to.
I said it a couple podcasts ago. I was like, just imagine how many people, like back in the day when there was only like a couple media platforms and TV shows that we'd watch. You know, you would be lucky if like maybe one or two people in your circle, your everyday day-to-day people were hilarious. Mm-hmm. And even then you would see them and be like, bro, if you should have your own fucking show. Like I swear to God.
I want to display you.
You're the fucking funniest motherfucker now. So now the difference is that you're able to do that. You could actually like me, to be honest with you, me watching the comments and reading the comments under certain posts just gave me the whole realization. It's like, yo, there's a lot of funny motherfuckers out there. And and see, that's how they made, like back in the day, that's how since there was only a few platforms, only the uppers of the uppers controlled it. So they got to choose and they got to be like the gatekeeper, who got put
and then
on.
what kind of shape society and culture.
Exactly. So now the culture is just shaping culture as opposed to just, you know, a handful of people. Either. No, but
I like that there's more power in our hands, so to speak, and there's more exposure. When it comes to
the problem is that I don't think people can differentiate nowadays on what is just entertainment and what they should be like, what is really serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that if I go on fucking Instagram, there's gonna be 3 posts of somebody doing a skit or somebody doing some kind of music or promoting something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I know that. So the difference is that I get to pick for myself if I'm a individual and I'm a self aware person. I get to pick for myself what I want to consume and know that this is all that it is. It's just a skit or it's just them
We've
clouching.
We've always kind of had that though, but it wasn't.
We've always had that, but see, the thing is now is that there's so many choices that anybody could say
it's not
anything. Exactly, and
so you're kind of not forced.
I could fall behind this person and really believe that all his skits are true or all his pranks are true. And my whole life, same thing with reality shows. For the longest, a lot of people thought reality shows were real. It's like, no, they're set up, but not scripted.
Yes.
You dig what I'm saying? Exactly. So they kind of like try to
There's
force
organized chaos.
They try exactly. They're trying to force you into situations and just to see how you
to get a reaction.
See you as a normal person to react to it. So it's like me as a person and an individual now. It's like we got to look at it and be like, okay, understand like this is all that it is. Same thing with the news media. I understand that the news media is not here to actually give facts. Is secondary. The primary function of the media is to sensationalize and to keep you going and watching and consuming.
It's still a business.
It's a business.
News is still a business,
exactly.
People, and they need people to watch the news.
And so is Instagram.
They need people
Instagram
to
is a fucking business too. Regardless of how sincere somebody sounds or acts, everybody has an agenda. Now, it all depends on what the agenda is. It could be a righteous agenda or it could be a fucking clout chasing. I want to fucking do this because I want to get on fuck how everybody feels agenda. So I'm going to do the wildest pranks. And even if they're fake and set up, I'm going to make them look real so I could fool you to sensationalize it so that you could watch it and really be like, yo, and believe that it's real. Like trick you into believing it's real. You dig what I'm saying? It's like when we watched, what's it called? Sitcoms, we knew they were fake. You dig what I'm saying? We knew they were fake, but the story was good, and the way they put it together, there's validity. Exactly. But now it's like the Instagram era and the social media era is like you don't know it's fake or not. You know, you could have your own. At the end of the day, you could be able to be like, yo, that's fake, or believe that it's fake and it might not be, or vice versa, and be like, no, that's real and it's really fake. But the difference is now is that there's no standard, so you could get your news directly from a blogger that gets their news from either made up shit or real life places, but you don't know really. So it's up to you to look at it. That's why I tell people look at that shit with a grain of salt. Don't fucking sit there and be like, oh, this is fact, this is law. Look at it and be like, I don't know. I'm not saying be skeptical, but don't just be so quick to just consume it and be like, this is law. You dig what I'm saying?
Let's go back to what you want to do when you come back out.
Well, when I come back out, like I said, I want to do shows.
More stuff.
I want to be in concerts, and I want to go to football games. The same thing with you do stuff like that. I feel like being communal and doing communal shit.
I want to travel. Like
I do.
There wasn't a real urgency before the before the pandemic.
Patty, I wish you came to LA. I wish you came to LA.
Like I kind of want to travel a little bit more. I want to come outside my little bubble a little bit more. I guess whatever works.
I wish you would have came to LA because it's like, look, Half's my brother. I've known him since he was a young.
I wasn't invited.
Well, it wasn't exactly
no
like
shade.
We came out there to business, right?
I know.
No shade though, but you're just gonna throw that lug on us. But no, look, like Half's my brother. I've known him for years. When we were young, we struggled a lot, and there was times where I fucking slept on his floor. You feel me? At his house where he lived at. We all had those moments, exactly, right? So, but until then, we grew up, we got our shit together, we got in our bag, we got on our hustle, we made sure that we took care of what we had to. We have our foundation, right? Especially because we got kids, so we got to give them that. But it was just weird for me to be like, I haven't took a road trip with Half. Yeah. And I don't think ever. We've been to like 2-hour trips.
Yeah.
And,
local,
here like local, but like 2-3 hour trips. We've been there. But this was like 5 to 6 hour trip.
Yeah, this is SoCal, not the Bay Area anymore.
But not even that. It's just like being around each other for extended periods of time that weren't
at home.
That weren't home.
That weren't in your comfort zone.
That weren't music related.
Your regular.
And like I said, that's my brother. So that's my brother. So I've known him for years. So it's like we've been around each other for years, and we've dealt through all kinds of shit. But
you've never traveled in a sense before together.
This is a new experience.
Yeah.
So it's funny. We pull up to the Airbnb, and there's 4 rooms, right? And they're all double bunk except for the master bedroom, right? So it's like we get there, my brother's there. He got the master bedroom. And then Brentley, which was my brother's partner and my folks now, he's a good dude. He was the cameraman. He pulled up. He was like, I'm coming too. So these are all the people that chipped in on the Airbnb. And Aiden is the muscle, I call him. He's a cool cat too. We call him the muscle though, but he pulled up as well. So when we got there late, me and Half left a little later than they did. They're coming from Vegas, so it's like a 2-3 hour trip. We're coming from the Bay. It's like fucking 5 hours, maybe 5.5, almost 6. So we pull up there. They already picked bedrooms, the whole shit. I'm like, all right, it's good, whatever. Motherfuckers get the master bedroom, it's good. Next time I get the master bedroom. That's all I'm saying, though. I get the master bedroom next time. Because you know what I'm saying? We going to keep it fair. We going to rotate that bitch. Next time we'll have a draft or a lottery or something. But look, that's neither here nor there, right? So
you digress like always.
But I digress. So look, we get there, and Brentley he picked the downstairs room. That's one room. My brother had the master bedroom. That's 2 rooms. Aiden
had the other room.
Aiden picked another room, so that's 3 rooms.
Yeah.
And the last room, I'm like, okay, Half rolled in with me.
Yeah.
He's not gonna go sleep in another room with a motherfucker he don't know really. Either room. There's a double bunk, but either room, he's like, I'm not gonna room with this cat. I already knew.
I don't know these cats.
So I'm hella funny, bro. Like I'm always making jokes. You know me already, Patty, right?
Yes.
So so we get there and we're like, okay, we'll take the extra room that nobody's in, obviously, because y'all motherfuckers could have jumped in the same room, but y'all want to have the Jack Shack and be by yourself, and who the fuck knows what you're doing, right?
Wouldn't you though if you got there first?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Be real. Yeah.
It's kind of, that's how, honestly, from what I've seen, that's just kind of how it is when you have to share stuff with people. It's like first come, first serve, unless other things were discussed prior to.
Yeah, we had
that's just life, baby. Like,
but at the same time, though, you think about it.
Unless, like, it was just, like, this is your thing and your spot and da-da-da-da.
But at the same time, y'all rolled up together. You would think, like, why don't y'all bunk together? But I get it also.
They don't have to.
But no, they don't have to. No, I get it because of the room, right?
Right.
So because they got there first, so it's like you gotta respect it. So we get there.
They supposed to leave an empty room, like
they did. They did.
But I mean, like, they supposed to bunk together.
Rooms,
like
exactly. You're the first there. You're gonna go pick out your own room. If you want to be my bunkie, then go on ahead. You feel me? Like
everybody's grown there. It's fair game for everybody.
So we pull up. We're there late, obviously. And I look at Half. I already know. I was like, you could bunk up with them, or we could get the room up there.
Why is that so funny to you?
I thought it was funny because look, we get there, we start unpacking our shit. Like I said, this is something new we haven't really done before, right? Like even with my brother, we haven't done no shit like this, right? So I'm like, so I'm tripping off it. I'm laughing, right? So then my girl called me on FaceTime. She's like, what's up? I put the AirPods on. I'm talking to her. She's like, what's up? What you doing? I was like, oh, nothing. My bunkie right here. You know, this is my celly right here. He over there unpacking his shit. So I'm talking like we in jail and shit. And he laughing because he done been to jail before. So he over there laughing his ass off. And I'm like, yeah, this is my bunkie right here. You know what I'm saying? We like, so to me, it was just a new experience to me, and I want to do more of that.
And that's exciting.
No, like, I want to do more of that, but I want to do more of that with the people that I fuck with. Like, you my partner, you my homie, like we, like I said, we beyond like friends. That's my brother, right? So no matter what, like, you know, we live our life out here.
If we have to do this with anybody, we want to do it with our folks.
With my peoples, exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to be, and it's funny because it's a dope experience to be able to do shit with
your folks.
With your people.
Yeah, it's the new experience part. Like, that's what it is. So,
yeah.
Like, that's like something that was kind of like this urgency placed on.
And it's hilarious because, like I said, it's like, yo.
Because we like to watch our people, because we're assholes. And we like to watch our people be awkward. Just like with you, whenever you're doing something weird and awkward. And I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just observing you, and you're so amusing to me. Like, that's all it is. Like,
you
I
fucking
love
creep,
you.
stop staring at me, bro.
And that's just like, this is what I do. I watch people. Like, I learn people. Like,
that's it, basically.
But we all do that. We all watch each other and see what each other's does and
in a motherfucking
like that.
nutshell. That's real talk.
See, if I would have went, I would have had my own room though, because I'm
no, you got me fucked up. No, nigga, you a nigga like everybody else.
Nope, I would have had my own room. I'm a fucking female, y'all.
I'll be like, you know what, Patty, sleep on the couch then. I don't give a fuck. You got me fucked up. No, but you know what though? We're respectful though. Like, we would have been like, yeah, let Patty get her own room. You fucking creep. She don't know you. She ain't gonna just bunk in the room with you.
Hell nah.
Like, you got me fucked. You wanna know the fucked up part about it though? We got one of those rooms where it was our room, and then there was like a bathroom in between our rooms that connected either our bathroom. This is the fucked up part about it though. We pulled up and we seen the door. I was like, oh, this goes to Aiden's room, right? The whole time it was the bathroom and it was locked. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker had the door locked on us. We couldn't even get in the bathroom. I'm like, okay, Aiden, I see how you rocking with it. That is messed up. But I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose, but it was just hilarious. Like, it's just jokes, bro. We was talking shit.
Yeah, I'm getting my own room. I'm paying
next
for
time,
extra.
I really want you to come
I'll
next
pay
time.
Extra, I don't mind.
No,
like,
you know what? It's all even. You know what though?
Hard
you gotta
no.
come with us the next time because you're the producer of the podcast, and we recorded some podcasts out there. You definitely gotta come live with us one time, Patty. You won't regret it. It's not. It's not awkward. Like everybody.
Oh, it's awkward, but
no, it's really not because it's at the end of the day. It's like we all know why we're here. We're not forced to be here, so it's not awkward at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like we came here to do this, and it's like think of it like camping or something.
But
not
just that. But that's something that I wanted to do. Like again, like I'm good. Like I'm good, but it's not about me. It's not. It's never. Just
it is about you though.
I'm just about like life in general. Like like let's say I come into billions of dollars. I make billions of dollars. Blah blah blah, and I'm good. And of course, I can't do that by myself. But let's just say it's just like people that I've met that I'm not really close to, but we do business, et cetera, et cetera. It's no fun if I'm by myself. It's
no fun if you can't spend it with the people that you fuck with.
It don't matter. It's like if I'm doing good and I have folks that I love and I care about and they're not doing good, for me, I can only be so happy.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I mean. Like, and that's how life is just in general. That's why everybody seeks out partners. That's why people seek out significant others. Yeah. That's why people have kids, because that's why God made us in his image, because he didn't want to be alone. Like, people don't realize that. Like, we're here for each other. Like,
I don't know if he made him in my image.
Shut up. So, like, that's what it is. Like, since I was younger, like, I've always wanted to do new things.
I'm just saying.
Hot things with my folks. Like, that's
that's something
I've always wanted to do since I was younger. Like, I've always like okay.
And now the shit's
like,
opening.
You know where we gotta go for sure before we die? We gotta go to Egypt. All of us gotta go to fucking. Like, if I can't go to Egypt with my folks,
we gotta go to Tulum. We gotta go to the all. I want to go to all the fucking Tulum. I want to go to all the ancient sites.
I want to see all the wonders of the world.
Yeah, me too. Real talk. Yeah. Like I always told myself, I was like, yo, if I ever won the lotto, I would want to fucking
We ain't gotta win the lotto. We gonna make it ourselves.
No, I'm just saying if I ever was like people, you know how people always say like, what would you do if you won the lotto? The first thing I'm doing is we're going on a fucking world tour. Like and I don't mean like performing. I mean like I'm gonna take my son, get our passports, get my girl, get my people. Don't get me wrong. Like, if I want something crazy like the mega ball, or if even we just started balling and having money, I'm gonna grab my circle and I'm gonna be like, yo, grab your family.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for. You don't have to worry about money.
It don't even have to be like that. Like, who was it? Like, before the pandemic. This is before the pandemic. My girl went to Bali. She went there for 5 days. And again, cost of livings are different in different places.
Yeah.
She lived in she stayed in a nice little villa. Had a what do they call those people who help you, like that kind of like a tour guide.
A tour guide, yeah.
But it wasn't like just a tour guide. It was somebody that like every day they take you somewhere and show you. Yeah, but I forgot there's like a name for him. Yeah. But they had that. They stayed in a nice little villa. They went to Bali. The most expensive thing was the flight. She spent 2 racks. Yeah. For 5-6 days. Yeah. That is nothing for a lifetime of memories. And to be in a whole
fucking other hemisphere. And
Bali, and it's because the cost of living there is different. So we think, like, we limit ourselves.
Yeah.
And so, like, we don't even have to be, like, hella... We don't have to have all of our money right now yet. Like, we just got to make it happen.
You just got to make it happen. I feel like, to be honest with you, is that life is so fleeting in this life is that you have to... Now I realize now, as I get older... And I see like older folks before me that always would travel and be like, why are you always traveling for? It's like, I realize it's not always about being around people. It's about being around the right people in different places. Because like I said,
or LA, just experiencing new things.
That's what I'm saying. Experiencing new things and when you see people do it for themselves, but when you also see people do it like with all their family and friends.
Or even just something simple like, let's go to the city and go to a restaurant we never been to before. That we know is popping. Like things that like I'm like before I'd probably be like, no.
Let's try this new drug called crack and let's smoke it together. I want to share this blessing with you. I want you to understand that this is what it is and this is the fucking bee's knees, like, you know what I'm saying, like spark this motherfucking. I
clocked out.
So look, it's the No Invite Podcast. You know what I'm saying? You could find us on Instagram at no_invite_podcast. You could also go to the YouTube channel at RiBirth Media Films. That's RiBirth Media Films with a Z. You could also go and ask your bitch because she knows where we at. And Patty, where can they find you at if they would like to find you and fucking, you know what I'm saying, harass you on Instagram?
16th World 16th World.
The world, Craig. That's it?
That's it?
I forgot Patty's a fucking nomad.
God, you just talk hella shit.
I do.
All the time.
I talk extra,
all
bro.
The time. A nomad.
Patty's a fucking... like I said, the nickname is the brown recluse because she's Mexican and shit. And I swear Patty be hella content in her own bubble and her own little circle. I ain't gonna lie. How many weeks has it been? It's been at least a good 4 to 5 weeks that you've been on the podcast. Yeah, and you usually were the regular. It's been almost 2 months. Almost 2 months. Yeah. The brown recluse. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta switch it up though. People get tired of listening to the same thing all the time.
Fuck no. People. What do you mean? I think that if you had your own podcast and you just took me out of it, like people would rather hear you talk, bro. Like real shit. People would be like, "Oh, that was a dope episode. Patty's hella funny." And be like, "What about me though?" Nah, you alright too, but you know Patty's fucking. And I'm like, okay. But you know what?
Look good, but we're making that.
But, you feel me? But you know what? Though I respect that though. Like I'm not a hater. Like to be honest with you, I know that that's a good thing. That's
you're
like
too kind.
You're
the one who's kept us afloat.
Hey, and what's funny is that
it's a year and a half now.
Put it this way: I'm 25. The battery. I might be the motor, but I'm not the actual entire vehicle. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like for me,
it's a team effort.
And I like to push people. Like I like to make people happy.
And I appreciate that.
No problem. And I see potential in people because I remember there was a time where the fact of you being on speaking on a mic was ridiculous, bro. Like that.
You recording me? What you mean you recording me? What? Why? Snitch vibes on.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. We, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know what I'm saying? We progress. It's all about progression at the No Invite Podcast. And again,
the pandemic should put things into a lot of perspective for people. Let's be grateful for, you know, what we've had and now things hopefully being... I hope the perspective makes things better. Because everything's always the same regardless.
Yeah, because we're about to go back to polluting and destructing this whole fucking world. And
we already bombed Syria.
I hope people... no, we didn't bomb shit. They bombed fucking Syria.
True.
We're fucking over here not having no input or insight of anything of those choices. That's the fucking people that run this country.
But let's just hope that things have put things into perspective. We realize that our lives are luxuries. And let's not take things for granted. Hope we learn from it. You feel me? Like, let's just learn from it.
Man, you see? Man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Knowing my podcast. Animals. Season 2, the level up, you dig?
Filthy animals.
Yeah, scum. Anyways, we're out. You know what I'm saying? Knowing my podcast. Keep it moist. Keep it saturated. And slap your significant other if they're acting up.
Do not do that. What is wrong with you? We are not condoning that.
As you're rich.
Ciao.